My name is Oscar.
My name is Carl,
and this is Who Would Watch This. Welcome to Who Would Watch This, the podcast where we watch a film, chat about the film, and then try and figure out who to watch this.
Today we're talking about Assassin's Creed, which currently has a 5.6 on IMDb, a 19% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 2 on Letterboxd. Oscar, what's the plot?
Callum Lynch explores the memories of his ancestor and gains the skills of a master assassin before taking on the secret Templar Society.
Wow, what a compelling plot.
Yes. Why are you saying that with malice? Have you got like a hidden blade of irony behind that? What's going on, Carl? What's going on, Carl? Should we jump into a hay bale? Yeah, there we go. Which is kind of last week.
By way the crow flies.
There we go. We're pretty quick on our feet. Carl, let's go back to the last week before we see the movie to see who would watch us.
Oscar, we're doing Video Game Month.
Yes.
We've just done Sharks.
Yes.
We're back in on video games.
Yes.
Start of a new month. If you have an idea of a full month of genre that you think that we should do, by all means, email us at askwwwtpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find all the details in the show notes.
We love themes. We love just dedicate a month to just absorbing everything this has to do. We saw Minecraft on the horizon. It might be good. Okay, it might be good.
If it's bad, maybe we'll do it on the podcast.
Yeah.
If it's good, maybe it'll end up in a palate cleanser.
Either way,
Who
I'll
knows?
be there, IMAX, day one, with a bunch of children. It's going to be pretty nasty. I've got my creeper head. I'm ready to go.
Who is directing Minecraft?
David Fincher, I believe, is directing. It's going to be cold and heartless, but God, it's really going to capture just...
No, man, Jared Hess is coming right out of the... Oh, my God, the guy that directed Napoleon Dynamite?
Wow. Listen, maybe it'll be okay. I just don't know what you'd get out of it.
I'm just happy that guy... I just like get happy when I'm like, oh, nice, somebody got like a good paycheck.
Yeah.
He's just done...
They got that Mojang money.
Hollywood had no idea what to do with him after Napoleon Dynamite. He was never able to capture that in a bottle again.
I feel like this next film, they're like, you can do another like 2 million indie that's funny. And then it wasn't that funny. Like, well, you are nothing. Spat on the ground and like grovel until there's $1 billion Minecraft.
They're like, I guess the llama did a lot of heavy lifting for you.
Ironically, there's llamas in Minecraft. So maybe that was the secret sauce.
Do you reckon that is? Do you reckon
100%.
somebody's going to call llama a fat lard?
Yes, exactly. Pretty much. That's pretty much all of Minecraft is based on. Carl, we're not talking Minecraft, we're talking Assassin's Creed, another video game for adults and boys.
Wow,
okay?
I cannot wait to dissect because we're hitting it out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
We're going all in. Oscar, I love Assassin's Creed, the games.
Wow, okay, huge. I played the first one, the second one, and then I feel like the second one has like 3 sequels. I didn't play any of those. I think I bought the second of the second one, and it just goes straight back into the first one. I went, I'm fine. And then the pirate one, which we all agree is the best one.
The pirate one is indeed the best one.
Yes. I haven't played the new one. There's one in Egypt. I feel very old. I feel like the newest one.
I have no idea what's going on there. It feels like that's the like, what are they doing now? Caves?
Yeah. I have a faint memory of them doing Britain, and I was like, I'm out. Sorry, guys. But yes.
They might put you to a bad name. They might be like, look at what they did.
Oh, blimey, old Jack the Ripper's over there. Carl.
Assassin's Creed POV Jack the Ripper.
It definitely would be. They definitely would be like, oh, you've got to assassinate another assassin. And guess what? We won't say his name until you get right to the end. That's what they love doing in those games. Just like, oh, there's some German scientists you need to chat to. You're making the bomb. They do like an Oppenheimer one, I'm pretty sure. It's pretty good. Carl, why do you love these games? And why do you think...
These are the best games ever made for anybody under the age of 20.
Huge.
Like, that they are perfect.
Yeah.
Anything that, like, a video... they just knew... They were like, look, the GTA is big and it's great because you get to kill and you get to drive around and stuff, but if you were stealthy... boys would like it more.
Yeah.
And man, did they nail it.
They nailed it. And you can also claim history. I remember I had a teacher once, it was a history teacher going pretty much, guys, I've been playing Assassin's Creed. You guys check it out. It's pretty good to life. And I did that and then failed the history test. So
pretty good to life.
Yeah, I did. It wasn't as a public school. I didn't nail it, but it's a vibe. Check it out. Carl, I've never seen this movie. Have you seen the movie? I remember when it came out, people were not happy.
I saw it opening weekend
Powerful.
in 3D, fully sat at the cinema, went with a big group of people, and we all hated it. We just hated it. And I think we were all tipsy, but we all hated it. That was the main thing. Was everybody was just, if there's one thing I remember about the movie, it's everybody was like, why the fuck was so much of it set in a prison and none of it set
Famously, the worst part of the games is just like, oh, you're a pirate.
The
and they
mini
get
games?
a shepherd hook and then pull you out. Just like, we've got a bunch of fucking Candy Crush for you to do in the real world before you go swashbuckling. It's the worst part. It upsets me that they were like 50-50 outside, 50-50 inside. That's a shame. That's a shame.
Yeah. Because I always thought this would be like the one to translate to a film. Like, I just thought this was like high concept, big set pieces.
I mean, you essentially get Pirates of the Caribbean-esque, a la sort of like the 15th century, like Roman Catholic. Like, there's a baddie, there's a goodie, they all works together. And then you've kind of got the narrative, like, sort of going, we can pop in and out. So it doesn't be the exciting parts.
I think if they played it right and maybe done some, like, maybe some tweaks to the exterior plot a little bit, you could probably sort of create your own Matrix.
What do they do with it?
I won't spoil too much about the plot. I just think that the idea of like going back in time being your ancestor for big action set pieces when you can be pulled out and certain things can be changed is ripe for a Matrix style film.
Yeah.
And look, you're going to get all boys. Like, all of the boys are going to turn out for it. So, interesting that they got, like, the Australian director of Snowtown. And
oh, damn, really? Is that who's got it?
yeah.
I mean, it'll be kind of moody and harrowing. I guess that's a vibe you want for Assassin's Creed.
I just think everybody was expecting more like summer blockbuster, and they got like what if it was slightly gritty, but the director didn't have a hold on such a massive budget, and you're like,
is that why what we're going into? Okay, powerful. Well, who do you think would watch a gritty, sad version of
anyone under 20? Anyone under 20?
Here's the thing: there's a Venn diagram: boys that play the games and boys that watch the movie. They're the exact same. Okay.
I had the themed cup that you got at the cinema.
I can see you, fresh 18, sneaking vodka into that in a Coke can.
No, I would never.
You wouldn't.
I would never
wouldn't
take that
sully
cup.
my cup.
Never.
That's a collector's item. That will sell well on eBay. You
The
know.
exterior was 3D.
Was it the holographic one where we kind of like? Zzz?
Never. That's stupid.
Oh, yeah,
no,
sorry.
it was like the guy falling, like sort of coming out of the cup.
Yeah.
Like, so it was, like,
Fucking hell.
raised.
Shit. Okay, I'll buy it. Okay, I'll bid.
Oh yeah,
$50.
buddy.
$50.
Oh
come
my
on.
god, it was so expensive. It's like, hey, you want that free cup? It comes with drink and a popcorn, only for $40. Oh, you a Cinebuzz member? A member? Down to $39. Hell yeah, I was Cinebuzz.
Oh, they had the worst deals. It was like, get this, buy 17 popcorns, you get that 18th one, $2 off. You're like, oh my god, how do I sign up? It's like, it's only $10 membership. So you're like, oh, I'm making money.
My favorite one was them being like, you get free popcorn refills. And you never leave the movie.
No, if I'm, they were just like, all right, who is going to the movies that aggressively? I guess people that don't mind missing the movie for 7 minutes and going to fill up their popcorn.
Yeah. And also, once I get through a tub, I'm always like, oh god, I've eaten too much popcorn and I'm salted out.
Oh yeah,
I'm dehydrated.
I feel like the illusion of popcorn is that it's healthy, but then they're just like, what have we added? I don't know, more butter than a Frenchman and just more salt. And that's just, you're just pretty much eating, the popcorn is just a lubricant for the butter and the salt. That's all you're really eating. You might as well just bring a big tub of butter in, you know? So cut out the middleman.
Yes, but Oscar, going off of what you know, now of what I've told you, what are you thinking?
Oh my god, this is absolutely huge.
Are you excited to watch it? Do you have an interest, or were you like, this isn't
I remember when it came out, I sort of was like, oh, that's cool, and then it didn't get any good. I remember people were just vile to this movie. So I guess I'm a bit curious for that. I'm not like, don't get me wrong, I don't think the story from the video games is like the most groundbreaking thing in the world.
No.
Like, it's just, hey, here's a sandbox for you to kill. It's just a like a very flimsy way to be like, we're going back in time and we're going to go to the only exciting parts. So I guess I'm keen to see how the film doesn't do that.
I guess it's the big disappointment to me is, as you're right, the game is very much like there is a sandbox, and so it's pretty unlimited as to how much fun and what you could make with this.
Yeah.
And the movie's very much like what if we didn't go into the box? What if we didn't like sand?
What if we did a lot of linear stuff, okay?
Yeah.
What if we did a lot of linear stories, and guess what? We're not going to the sandpit. You can see the sandpit, but we're gonna put the goggles to the sandpit over there. So I guess if you don't like fun, like if you're kind of a self-described wet blanket, chuck this one on.
I could definitely describe the movie as like dull. I think that's my thing. Was I just remember being like, this is a
The
dull
DVD
film.
cover, just him jumping off in your cup, and just it's a dull flick.
I remember looking at my 3D cup being like, oh, dull. What could I ever use it for? I remember somebody was like, you could use that as a plant box. And I was like, shut up. Oscar, my adrenaline is low. This wasn't it. This didn't do anything for me.
This film, guys, I'm going to spoil it. If you want to know who would watch this, it's people that have heart issues. You want to keep that low blood pressure. You want to put yourself in front of the flick for 2 hours. You'll be at a calm 40 BPM. It's real chill, real nice.
Absolutely.
Carl,
You want somebody to flatline at a hospital? Put this on.
if you got just a sibling that won't die, and we all know listeners out there want that, you chuck them on this film. Carl, Assassin's Creed 2016. Wow.
What a picture.
What a picture. What a picture. Carl, should we get straight into Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, I think let's jump right in, because one of the things that I was like, why are we doing this? Was this little opening with Michael Fassbender,
Yes.
like already back in time.
Yes.
This is odd to start it here.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think everything about the first 20 minutes is odd.
It all feels chopped up, doesn't it? Very
Yeah.
chip. They're just like, hey, I assume the director's given them, essentially, we're going to do a very gritty version of this. It kind of reminds me of what Dune is. And that's like a positive, but they were like, what if Dune got put into a studio's hands and they just chopped it up? And
What if the director didn't have Denis Villeneuve capital?
Oh, yeah.
So it had to be like, they were like, the studio's like, oh, we've got our editors on it
Yeah.
now, so you can go back to making a different movie if you like. And you're like, oh, can I get in the editor's room? And they're like, absolutely not. Get out of
history
here.
of the Kelly Gang for you in 10 years' time, but nothing.
You got coverage and that was good for you. Get out of here, you scamp. No, go on. Get out. Go.
Go on. It does feel like it wants to be one movie and then it's trying to force itself into another movie.
Because I feel you could almost see it being like, we're meant to start in present day, and then he would get like euthanized, and maybe that would cut back to his childhood, and then he'd go in and he'd experience, like, you could almost see where it would linearly the scenes would go. And odd that the studio is like, no, we want people to see Michael Fassbender back in time immediately.
Yeah.
And then we want him to see their childhood. And then we want to meet him. And then we want to kill him. And then we want to wake him up again. And then we want him to meet every character in the film. And then we want him to go back.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, all right, but that's too much.
We've sped up pretty quickly. What are we doing for the rest of the 30 minutes? We're going to slow it right down and just going to vibe in the prison.
You ever been lost in an Apple store? That's the vibe.
That's the vibe. Have you ever been to the bottom of the Louvre? You know, when you leave the Louvre? Feels exactly like that. But let's get into it. What is the filmmaker's vibe on if you are watching this knowing what Assassin's Creed is or not knowing? Because it seems like it's in two camps. It's like, we need to subvert the fans' expectations. We can't give them the same story. They have given us the same story. But then if you're not a fan and don't know what you're going into, I would be very confused and scared.
Yes, I don't know if I'd be able to really follow what they've given me without having played the games.
Yeah.
But also having played the games, it almost feels like they've made the plot more convoluted, right?
If I remember the first one, and maybe this is just me getting my mind up, I swear to God, he walks in, it's like,
He walks in and sits down.
goes, we're taking your memories because we want to write a story, or we want to find something.
Yeah.
I feel like it even takes too long in the video game, but you're also doing like tutorials. Like, how do I turn left?
Yeah,
Then you
that's
work
right.
it out. Well, the film doesn't need to do that.
No, the film doesn't
That's
need
the
to do
power
that.
of filmmaking.
I just thought it was weird that it's like the first time we go back in time. That feels like that should be a big moment. But because we've already seen it at the beginning of the movie, doesn't feel like we're being dropped in a new situation. You're like, oh, we're going back to the place that was already established the moment the picture started rolling.
Totally. I feel I'm a flip-flop here. I got positive. I like that all the past scenes are done in like a different language and in subtitles. Secondly, I don't like that because then I had to actually sit down and watch the film. But back to that, it feels like the film was like, we're going to do that choice, and then was like, ugh, people are not going to listen to subtitles.
No.
So we're going to do most of the stuff in the English overworld, which just feels crazy.
It just feels stupid.
Because it seems
feels
like
so
you
stupid.
should get most of your exposition out in like the Assassin's Creed world. What we call in the world, I don't know what they call. They give it different worlds. I know they have it in the game, but I haven't played it for so long.
Let's call it Spain.
Spain. Okay, in Spain,
2016 Spain.
2016 Spain. Wait, which world is Spain? The Assassin's Creed world, or just the weird Apple Store world?
The Apple Store Spain.
Apple Store Spain.
Madrid Spain.
Madrid Spain.
No, Apple Madrid.
Apple Madrid.
We can't use Apple because there's an apple in this.
Okay. Fuck, you're actually so true.
Yeah,
and
we
they
can't.
blabber on about that fucking apple.
Oh my god, don't shut up about the apple. That was that whole. They were just like, what if we took a bite of this? What if we actually put an apple there? Where's the apple? You know what my favorite fucking thing is in the entire movie? Is them being like, well, it turns out the apple was with Christopher Columbus. No shit. As if that wasn't the first place you fucking checked.
It seemed like, and we'll spoil it, but
I
at
don't
the,
care.
at the end of the film, they kind of go, what, this old apple? We've been holding on. It's been just fucking clogging up. We've been waiting for you, Carl.
I wish it was one of those big twists at the end of those history movies where they're like, oh, the apple was going to it was going to be able to create what do they want to stop violence? They're like, the apple can stop violence.
We need to take a pause because this is the biggest part of the film. But we'll come back to this.
I just think it would have been hilarious if they were like, oh my god, I guess the real apple was just Granny Smith. It was what it represented, and there's just a rotted corpse.
You wanted a Kung Fu Panda ending.
Yeah. I wanted that.
Many too.
Guess the apple was in you all
Yeah.
along.
I guess the apple's rotten right to the core, huh?
Yeah.
A bit of a child.
Imagine if this ended on the apple dance. There you go. Boom. That's up a point. It's up a cool mill at the box office. I think because I am going to be largely negative, but I do want to throw out a few things.
Yes.
In today's day and age of blockbuster filmmaking, man, the practical stuff here looks awesome.
That's why I want to praise, and I guess also kind of talk down, because they've got these beautiful wide shots when they're in the game.
Yeah.
Of them like on horseback, they're riding along. It seems like they're jumping from stuff, but it's so close and it's so quick editing that you kind of lose that. It's like I can see that you have like a 3 second wide of like this horse race going on. Just show it for a while. I did think it was cheaty because a lot of the action sequences, I was like, those are functionally fine and it's really cool spectacle and it does look all practical. But I was like, why do they not hit? And then I was cheating because I got bored and went and looked at Jackie Chan flicks. Have you seen a Jackie Chan flick recently?
Yeah, I watched Police Story for the first time recently.
God, how cool they all shoot in wides, and they're just like, what if he died?
Yeah.
And that's thrilling. I'm not saying
Well, that's why the Mission Impossible movies are shot so wide, because Tom Cruise is happy to fucking die.
100%. I'm just saying...
Michael Fassbender doesn't have a death wish.
He committed for Steve Jobs, but he did not commit for Assassin's Creed. I think he should, if he dangled his body, if he really jumped into hay, I would have been happy. There's one I saw again with another bit of IMDb trivia. There's one that's like, this is the largest hay jump in history. And I was like, oh, cool. Can't wait to see it. It looks vile. They've just digitally done a bunch of stuff to it. It just kind of sucks. You're like, guys, you did everything. Why didn't you just show it? I don't mind.
I know. It is weird that they're like, what if we CGI'd over the stunt? And you're like, why? Why have you done that? I think I don't mind the vibe of the back in time segments. Like, I do think I think the whole movie is really choppily edited. So I think they might have even second guessed themselves and decided that they really needed to quicken the action. And the scenes came at the expense of doing 3-second cuts.
Yeah.
Because it feels like they got a lot of the wide coverage, right?
Oh my god, the coverage looks fantastic. I go, wow, you did like that whole running scene, the parkour scene, which I was like, okay, they're definitely gonna do something in that. That's the whole point of the games. I was kind of keen for that. And it seemed like a 10-minute sequence. It seemed like they shot the shit out of it. Like, there's so many cool little sections.
And the costumes look great.
Costume looks great.
They're on location.
Yeah. It all looks fantastic. But then you're just sort of left with like, I don't know, they've just chopped it up so that it doesn't really feel like it hasn't got the desired effect, but it sucks, really.
I think the other thing as well is, man, Michael Fassbender's character is fucking boring. Like, this is the most boring man I've ever met.
Listen, give him those video game Assassin's Creed ones, name the main guy. I could not...
Desmond.
Whoa, okay. no goddamn way you remember Desmond. How big of a fan are you? What the hell?
It might not be right. I don't know.
It sounds fucking right.
I can back myself.
I gotta tell
Eddie.
you, he was the most blandest fucking character in the world.
Yeah, but I mean anybody that's sort of like especially in those games.
No, of course. I'm saying, I guess they're a new person. Should we get into the actual story? Because essentially he's, you know what, I looked it up. I couldn't believe it. He killed a pimp. That's why
Right? He's a pimp killer.
Why not do that story?
But it's confusing that they're like, he is a pimp killer, and then his dad is an assassin that killed his mum.
Yep.
And I didn't believe this, but that man being the son of Brendan Gleeson, sure, yeah, okay, all right, yeah.
You know that the young one that is like his young father, that's the other Gleeson son. That's not
I
dumb.
could buy that.
Yeah.
Because he also didn't look agile. There is a scene where there's like, towards the end of the movie, Brendan Gleeson is standing with a knife, and I'm like, what do you expect to do with that? You're not going to move quickly.
You're threatening, but more like in like a Shakespeare way,
Yeah.
but not like you're not an action guy.
Like if you were to monologue at me, that would be the dagger.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Mad-Eye Moody's the best one because you're like, oh shit, he's got a wand? That's terrifying. That's as much as I feel like we're being mean to.
I love Brendan Gleeson, so
Everyone
it's
likes
coming
Brendan
from a
Gleeson.
place of love. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
he's a banshee of Inisherin.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So anyway, we've got this beautiful, stale backstory to a dull, sad man who is being put to death.
Put to death, yes.
This is convoluted.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Just like...
I mean, I guess, because the whole premise is that he... killed. I guess the pimp killing was because what's the pimp killing? Why does he kill the pimp?
I think the thing is, and I am sorry for all the pimps out there.
Yeah.
But pimp is a hilarious word. And it's just distracting when you've started a movie and they're like, yeah, killed a pimp. And you're like, well, that feels like that's a whole story.
Yeah.
So for you to drop that in a sentence in amongst a sci-fi action movie, I don't know where that lands.
And maybe this is... Pimp needs a bit of a rebrand because in my mind, a pimp is like a big
hat,
big fur coat.
Yeah.
And granted, I know that a pimp.
It's Dave Chappelle's version of a pimp.
Exactly
Is what I think a pimp is.
I'm just thinking. Technically, a pimp is just somebody that looks after and sort of like shakes down, prostitutes. So I guess that is his own profession.
So
and
is
I guess,
he? But one of my things was I couldn't work out if, like, by night he was a pimp killer. Like, is he Batmaning?
I
like,
think
is he
so.
Batmaning at night?
I guess he's anti-sex work, which in this modern day is not very progressive. No. I'm sorry, Fassbender, it's not on.
Imagine his character in Anora. It wouldn't work.
He'd be awful. Can
we stop? Actually, if I can throw out something, people stop writing into us saying Michael Fassbender's character would work in Anora. He wouldn't. And I'm sick of the fucking emails.
Can I say, and there's been multiple, it's not on,
It's not on.
Borderlines harassment, in which case he's very, very pimp-esque,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Michael Fassbender will come for you guys,
And it's frustrating because it's pre us doing the film.
Yeah.
So I don't know where you've gotten it from.
I'll be honest, maybe we're feeding into it by doing this film, but you know what? I was not happy when I realized that Michael Fassbender had killed a pimp because we had to bring it up now. We had to bring it up on the podcast.
I mean, it was just one of those things where I was like, oh my God, like, why? What? It's crazy that the person writing this script, once he played the game, was like, what if our lead had killed a pimp? What if he'd killed a pimp?
I reckon, and this is just a butchering of editing, and this is Studio 101, guys. Never cut out the pimp killing scene, okay? That's gold. If you leave that on the cutting room floor, guess what? You got a flop in your hands.
Yeah.
You got a big flop in your hands.
You need to, if you're going to tell me...
How do you think Pulp Fiction did so well?
Show, don't tell.
Yeah.
If you're going to tell me you've killed a pimp, show me you've killed a pimp.
And if you told me you've killed a pimp, don't show me the blandest fucking man in existence. Like, guess what? This bland guy, he did the coolest thing ever.
You know what's weird is because Michael Fassbender's a very good actor.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely very talented actor. And this is during his like little run of being like doing the bad X-Men movies, this Snowman, essentially just doing career killer after career killer after career killer. And none of them are good actual acting roles for him. So I don't know why he's taken them.
I get the appeal of everybody coming to this project because it's got some hard hitters. It's got Jerry Ironbright.
I think this is pre-Macbeth, right? So he'd also worked with the director.
Oh yes,
and worked with Meridian Cotillard too.
Yes.
So I think
there's some there's some big names here and like pretty well established actors. And I think having like the Snowtown, like he's like a tour director coming in to kind of make quite a gritty version of Assassin's Creed. Like you'd be like, what if we did the Dark Knight, but like for video games? And that seems like what the logline was. But then a studio's like, it's kind of fucking bland and boring.
It's kind of really boring.
Yeah.
But I think the other thing is like this movie's like so humorless as well. So I just don't care about any character.
Well, at one point, and we'll get into the stakes. Essentially, he dies. I do like the him dying sequence, killing sequence. I think there's some fun editing and interesting like visuals on screen there.
You can give it that compliment.
I'll give it that. Listen,
Do it.
that's all I had.
I
was
won't back it,
because
but
you
you
said
can
the
give
editing
it.
was dreadful. I was like, I don't know, that sequence is pretty good. And then I did see the next hour 40. I went, and there's the bad.
It's
editing.
tough.
But we'll get into our main character. We got Marie. What's her name? Marion.
Which character?
Marion.
Marion Cotillard?
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know her character's name.
Oh, okay,
No,
right.
Yeah. She brings him back to the death. She's like, hey, my dad is like, and listen, I don't know if he's evil, but he's a little bit evil. Essentially, he's trying to take away free will. And it's bold of the film to go, hey, who's the baddie?
They're like, I think that's the right call. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love, if there's something I would never want, it is to be woken up and be told so much exposition. Like if I had been told, hey, you're being put to sleep because you're being killed for killing a pimp, and then I woke up to this amount of exposition.
Which, dare I say, if you're a pimp killer, might be a pretty honorable way to die. It'd be kind of like going to Valhalla. So then you kind of ended up back on a table. You're like, hey, here's a bunch of nonsense to do. You're like, oh my Jesus Christ. What?
I think as well, when you're so simply branded as a pimp killer, being thrown into you're an assassin from like old-timey Spain, and you've got all this stuff going on, and you're just like, I was living a simple pimp killing life, and now I'm here in an Apple
There's
store.
a lot of stuff on my plate now. Can I listen? When it comes to pimp killing, you don't need all the blades and all the fancy gadgets. You need a bit of elbow grease and a bit of gumption. Okay, I don't need to go back in time and kill old time pimps.
You kind of do it by mistake sometimes, you know? It's a bit of like what if I roughed up a pimp? Oh no, he's gone.
Sometimes you're lawn mowing, and guess what? Pimp flies in front of. What are you going to do? Zzz, over him. That's what you do.
I think I thought it was going to be more like this guy already knows how to fight, but he doesn't.
No, there's lots of sequences, and
Which makes me think he's just killed a pimp with a gun, and that's the cowardly way to do it.
You gotta choke a pimp out. You gotta see it in his eyes. You gotta see that glint one last time, you know? And pimps always have a glint in their eyes.
They've always got a glint in their eye, and then you got to take that big watch. They've always got a big watch.
Big fur coat, big wide
watch.
brim hats, normally purple, and then you want to get that big cane. Normally has a big
Cutting-
diamond.
Cutting to Michael Fassbender in an interrogation room with the coat, the watch, and the hat, and being like, I never killed a pimp. I never did that. What do you want about? Prove it.
Buddy, you're going away for a long, long time. Just
Making
like,
an assumption, I leave the house like this.
now where's my cane? It has a large diamond on it, I believe. Big red ruby diamonds. Quite large. It had a lot of blood on it. Bludgeoned pimp blood on it. But that's a separate pimp. It's a different pimp, okay?
I'm going to be sent to 5 years of sci-fi thriller? Damn it! I never would have
Just
done it.
kill me. Just fucking kill me.
Please kill me. What, you mean before all the video game adaptations get good? Ah!
It really was a precipice. It's
It was like 5 years too early. I feel so bad for them.
they would have really done it well. She wakes him up, gives him such nonsense. He's literally out of it. He's gonk.
He's
like,
close to jumping off a building, and I'm
Oh,
like, do it. That's the right thing to do, and that's
Imagine
what I would
waking
do.
up just fucking. You've just been killed and waking up in the Apple store. You'd be like, oh, it's hell. Great. I've gone to purgatory. Not even purgatory. You have gone to the ninth layer of hell. You're like, oh, it's done. It's done. What? So, okay, so that's her character. She's sort of like, my dad's a bit evil, but I'm really trying to find...
She's like, I'm really rooting for you all.
Yeah, I'm
That's
really...
where we're at.
Yeah, because what is this prison? Are these guys... There's like a...
It's not a prison.
Sorry.
They can leave due to free will, which is almost ironic.
Yeah, because they're trying to take it away from them. It seems that like you can escape, but the second we get that apple, you're back in here. My God. Should we get... So what's okay? This prison is filled with a bunch of people. Do they also have connections to the apple? And they're just like, dead end. And they're just left here?
I think they're all... They're all of different assassins in time, right? But they're all founded from the same assassins group. So I think they've all got their core values.
Gotcha.
It's weird that putting them back in time has seemingly radicalized all of them. Because a lot of them just been going about their daily lives, assuming everybody's a pimp killer, I guess. Because that's like,
Well, everyone here's the thing.
assassin runs deep in your veins.
Assassin comes deep in your blood, but you've also killed a lot of pimps. You see, if you want to get into this prison, you have to kill a pimp. It's a very niche each group. However, it's filled with about, I don't know, 400 people.
Yeah.
It's a very, here's the thing. It's the
Maybe less.
Yeah.
It's also hilarious too that they're like, we've got a lot of guards, and I'm like, these are trained assassins. Like, their job is to kill.
My biggest fucking issue with this film is the climax where they go, right, we'll just have it in this wide open room. There's only a big ledge above me. Other than that, let's freaking go. We're only terrified of the assassins.
Who put all this hay here? They're gonna weaponize the hay. Who has done this?
Who the fuck has left a bunch of hay?
Who the fuck put so much hay here? Why did who left all the hoods out? You know that if they jump in hoods and get in hay, they're so violent and dangerous.
Let's get into Jeremy Irons, who's essentially he's a politician, sort of a Steve Jobs type.
He's been asked to do Scar.
Yeah.
Let's face it, he's doing Scar
Yes,
again.
he's doing a villain. He's chatting to this politician, and she's pretty much like, hey, we're going to cut your funding because, quite frankly, this nonsense program is costing us $3 billion.
Yeah, and it is fucking nonsense.
You'd be like, what are you guys trying to discover? Okay, so we've pretty much got a bunch of people, and we're looking back in time. Sell the back in time stuff firstly. That's the first thing you do. You know, you've got a Matrix going on, cool. But then they're also trying to be like, hey, we're trying to get free will. This monologue Jeremy Irons gives is fucking insane. And he should be given an Oscar for it because it's crazy, it sort of sells it, but it shouldn't. They are trying to take free will, and nobody at any time is like, I don't know if that's a cool idea.
I mean, look, here's the thing. I waste my free will, so I don't care if it goes. I'm bad at it. I'm like, what's happening on social media? I guess I'll think that. I guess my free will's already taken. I'm thriving. I'm thriving, everyone.
In the system they've set up, it's actually pretty nice over here. Just, guys, here's the thing. If you listen to this podcast, just conform. If you reverse this backward, you'll hear a fun little message from us.
Conforming is belonging, and you don't want to not belong.
Oh, you don't want to not belong.
You don't want to not belong.
Guys.
Email us at askwwwtpodcast@gmail.com if you want to conform.
Guys, conform is the best. Anyway, so pretty much that's the premise of the villains, and it does a very odd thing where the film kind of goes, Michael Fassbender pretty much spends the whole rest of the time going, I just don't really care. And everyone that's a prisoner is like, they're just trying to take your free will, and even the bad is like, we're trying to take your free will, and he's like, guys, I really don't care. I really don't care.
Of course he doesn't care. They're all just like, why don't you care? They're going to take away your free will. And he's like, I thought I was dead.
Yeah.
Like, I prepared mentally to be dead. Do you know the weird serotonin level I'm having right now when I was like...
I'm still coming down from the DMT hit that I
Yeah.
took when I took death. Have you seen or heard the film, the TV series Life on Mars? Pretty much a guy semi-dies and then spends the whole rest of the season going, fuck. And he's back in the 70s. He goes, am I fucking dead? I don't know really whether to commit to this life. Because again, I definitely died. So it's crazy. He's like, listen up, fuck it. I'll assassinate. I'll assassinate.
Man, how big was life on Mars?
It's great.
It was big.
Yeah.
It was big. I think, before we jump into the Apple, I think I have a certain idea as to why I think the movie is like a little bit dull in the way of stakes, almost. Yeah. And that is that they say immediately off the bat, you cannot change the past. And I think it should almost be like a little thing of like end of the second act, like what if we tried though?
Yeah.
You know, just like something like that where it's like, because it feels like if he has no ability to actually change or have any free will when he himself is living these memories and doing them, what's really the point of watching them?
Totally. I think the major flaw of this film is that we don't spend as much time in the video game world, but when we do actually spend time in it, I don't know why they don't go, let's do all your character development in there.
Yeah.
Have the caveat that, hey, the assassins are the evil ones, but the Knights Templar are the good ones. And then this guy has to be like, I'm kind of bonding with all the assassins, you know, we also like killing. And then pretty much slowly learning, pretty much revealing the outside world in the inside world. And then he's catching on that they're also watching him realize that. And then it's that final moment where he tries to change the past, as you say, in the game, and it doesn't work, but it sort of does, and it reveals something else, and then maybe he reveals the apple.
Yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't need to fully work.
Yeah.
But what if it was to do just the littlest thing that was to be like, what is this?
Yeah.
Maybe things could, like, just anything to make you go, oh, fuck, like, this elevates the stakes now.
Yes.
Because we've discovered something we didn't think we could do.
Well, it's an odd one because they pretty much go, hey, he can't push himself.
No.
Otherwise, you know, he'll die. And then at one point he gets paralyzed, and they're like, don't worry, just take a bath and you'll be good.
Yeah.
They cure him from paraplegic. It's pretty crazy.
Well, I mean, the Apple Store baths. are some of the best baths
When
you
the
can take.
geniuses rub your little legs, my
Yeah.
God, guys, it's worth the Apple Care. You got guys, everyone should get Apple Care. Whenever you go into the Apple Store, buy an iPhone, the first thing you want to do is buy Apple Care. It's
Yeah.
$700 for the year, and if you break it, you only need to pay $400. So it's pretty good.
It's very good. The sauna, not included at cost.
Nope.
You do have to pay additional to get into the Apple Care there.
Oh, yeah.
But my God, once you're in there, you do have to pay per stay.
Yep.
So, that's
And
another
guys,
that.
I'll be honest, your AirPods can get fucked up in there.
But here's the thing. If you actually sign on to 3 years of Apple Care, you do get a free 2-week trial of Apple Plus.
yeah, how good's that?
And you can squeeze in Severance.
Prison Severance, and maybe start 3 episodes of Silo, and then you are back on.
Go all in on Silo.
Yeah.
Don't even touch Severance.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that now because...
Guys, check out The Gorge, okay? Check out The
Yeah,
Gorge.
go and watch The Gorge. Go and watch the Best Picture winner, Coda. Nobody's seen it because it's stuck on Apple TV.
Carl, let's get into the Apple, huh? The Apple, what is the Apple?
It's rotten right to the core.
That's what I've been saying. It seems like it's this vague idea of, like DNA, but it seems like it's magical.
light.
It's magical.
It's magical. I think that's one of the other things where I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Because they definitely hint more at like a supernatural sense in the games than they have in this film.
Yes.
So it's odd at the end when they're like, this apple can be cracked open, and then free will is gone.
Then we've got, if I remember correctly, they said the DNA of free will is backed up. Because I feel like the video games always did a fun, like, parallel of like, hey, listen, we're doing a bunch of religious iconography and then kind of twisting it to whatever we need to for the big boss. Like, he turns to the devil, haha,
Yeah.
cool. But this one, it just seems like they've got like essentially like an Apple investor meeting, and they're like, guys, look, we bought into free will. So quite frankly, stock's up quite high. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
It's the type of thing. When are we going to get billionaires starting to be like, no, we want to get rid of your free will?
I think they're trying. I
mean, they're trying
that's
now
what the chips
actively,
are.
but
Sure, the second those chips are in your brain, they go, okay, we're turning off the lungs if you don't buy my Apple Care.
I just want to know which billionaire's doing it by going into the past, because you know they're trying. Like, you know they're secretly trying.
Here's the thing, guys. If you go down to the jails, guess what? How many pimp killers are in there? Not a lot. Not a fucking lot. Guess what they are? They're under Elon's house.
They're in Elon's house, living memories. That's what they're doing. It's fucking sick.
I think genuinely, I would think high of Elon Musk if he had a bunch of people captive running the past. I would find that more endearing.
I would agree. At
Yeah.
the moment, if they were just like...
It'd be better PR.
Yeah, it would be better PR if it turned out there was like an expose that came out about Elon Musk being like, yeah, but he's got 400 people trapped under his mansion, traveling in the past. just trying to
He's
get...
trying to crack open free will. I'm like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense, and you know what? I back it.
Yeah.
I don't back it, but it's better than what anyone else is doing.
Yeah.
They're just like, I'm gonna go to Mars. I'm gonna fucking
Yeah.
tell I got
But
there.
when he's just trying to sell a Tesla in front of a White House, you're like, please have people under your mansion trying to do time
I'm happy
travel.
with having captives. I'm happy for that. You can take my free will. I'll be the first one to put a chip in my brain.
If
huh?
you've just got all the pimp killers under there and you're throwing caution to the wind trying to get them into the past, that's a leap and bound, and I get it. It's more impressive than trying to get us to Mars.
Yeah, totally. I think, guys, it would be a crazy motto if it wasn't even to find anything. It's just like, guys, I just think all the pimp killers should be back in the past. And that's like them being like, we should give up pimp killing. But no, he literally means we should send them all back in time so they can breed, and therefore we get a super race of pimp killers.
Imagine it being
guys,
like, we overpopulated the pimp killers. Oh, God, they're all trapped in Spain.
Oh, God, it's a real anti... That's the thing about billionaires. They're very anti-sex work. They're very anti-sex work. So the fact
Billionaires just suck in general.
Yeah.
Give me some money.
Give me some money.
Give me a handout,
Maybe
please.
give me a pimp to kill,
You
huh?
don't
I want to
need
get my
it.
first pop.
I'll pimp a butterfly if need be.
Oh, many have.
No, I know, and many have failed. I'm one of the ones that failed. Yeah, so that's what the Apple is.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, pretty much. That's Jeremy Irons'
Yeah.
monologue. Listen, guys, we don't have the acting chops. He nails the scene.
I hope somebody's driving in their car being like, shut up about pimps. Just
Carl,
shut
I'll be
up
honest,
about pimps.
listen, here's the thing. We're both building this podcast brick by brick, and so far, Pimp Killers is kind of the backbone
I'm gonna be
of
so
a pretty
annoyed.
flimsy plot.
So annoyed in like 2 weeks' time when I'm like, oh god, look, he was in the movie Pimp Killer. Did we do that? Did you keep that pimp bit in? And you're like, nope, cut that. And I'm like,
That's right. That episode was only 14 minutes long, huh? Odd, crazy.
it's crazy. You know, it'd be great. We should do an episode which is just all of the stuff we've cut out of Terra Nova and pimps, and just sprinkle that in like it's a full episode.
Carl, we did like 9 of those last week, okay? Can you check it out?
Yeah. We've never successfully done an episode of the podcast. I guess they're all that.
They're all clips and they're all just random garbage. It's pretty powerful.
I don't have a lot to say about the middle of the movie. He has got like an underdeveloped female friend in the past.
Oh my God.
And when she dies, we're told to care. But we've only seen her twice and she's never spoken.
No.
And I don't know what bond they're meant to have other than the fact they've definitely locked eyes.
Yes. It's an odd one, isn't it? Because we're not left long enough in the back in the time one. So you're just sort of like, I guess but she's dead. Like she already has died. Everyone in those sequences are dead. Like I have it's like, oh, that sucks. But they all are dead to me.
That's the thing. It's
know?
like I thought there was going to be like this would be like an interesting moment for him to be like he saves her and then he comes out and they're just like, well, she was meant to die.
Yeah.
Because we have it on record she died.
Yes.
Here. You know, like one of those things. But maybe then it turns out they faked
it or something like that.
and
Yes.
thus in the past they thought she was meant to die here
Totally.
when she wasn't meant to.
Or just like, I don't know, like a Ready Player One of just like, go backwards, you know? Figure it, that's the way to do it.
There's like an interesting thing as well to say here that when you're living history, and we know that to a certain extent historians control perspective in history as well.
Oh my God, amazingly
that you
better
could do
theme. Yes.
such an
'Cause
interesting
I feel
thing
like
with
the
lies.
video games doesn't go. They're like, nope, that's exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
He jumped on a fence for about 4 hours trying to get some achievements. So that's pretty much what he did.
That's right. And he unlocked it.
Yeah. But you're so right. There's just nothing, like I'm just feel empty. Like I know he definitely got, the stakes of the assassin world is like, I know he definitely got the apple and I definitely know he's done something with it. So we're just watching him
We're
succeed.
just waiting for
Yeah.
him to get that apple.
Yeah.
But I don't care.
It's like watching the film 1917 like on VR and you're in the real world going, man, if that guy doesn't survive, you're never going to be born. It's like, okay, so he's going to survive.
Yeah.
So that's
He'll
fine.
get there.
He'll get there.
So that's okay.
That's okay. Yeah, odd, right?
Yeah.
It's very odd. The parkour scene is, I mean, we already touched on it, but I thought it looked great.
I think all the stunt work's good.
Yeah.
I think, like, again, I genuinely can't speak, like, highly enough of, like, what I think has been attempted to do here in the past.
Yes.
I think a lot of it, I think in the trivia it said they tried to capture as much as possible in camera, and that very minimal CGI was used for a lot of the larger stunt work.
Yeah.
And I think you can tell.
I think so. There is definitely like, I feel like maybe, I guess just
There's some
general CGI.
ludicrous stuff where you're like, that's
Of
CGI for
course.
them to pull that off. But there's other simple, really good stunts that they are doing. Like, I think that's fine. I think they've really... I guess in the end, I think this is like let down by what I assume is a studio re-chopping the movie and a bad script to begin with.
But there's a lot of these sort of very self-serious things. I'm happy with it, but you gotta do a bit of comedy. You always gotta have a laugh in
It's
there.
silly.
I think it elevates anything, right?
One of the best things about The Matrix is that it's silly,
Yeah.
and then it's very fun, and then it gets serious.
Yeah.
And that's what's a great path.
They can nail balancing a tone. How good's tone, huh?
Yeah. Oh, that's what this movie's missing. A tone. Fucking pick a tone.
Oh god, it's just so dreary though, and it has some of the just oddest writing, just so bombastic. Because it is a video game. Maybe I'm trying to think of a good video game that has like a very insane premise, but still has the levity to be like, let's actually take this with complete sincerity. And I don't think there's really one that's been there. All the good video game adaptations are like, what if it is just a bit harrowing? Like
Yeah.
Last of Us. I feel like Fallout. I haven't seen the show. Have you seen the show?
Yeah, the show's fantastic.
As
And
a
I mean,
show-
that's
as-
really fun. That's really goofy.
I was going to say, because
yeah.
Fallout has that tone of like, listen,
Yeah.
you're going to go down to the vault. It's either going to be something really, really fucking funny or one of the most harrowing things you can do to humankind. And I hope this show does that in a
Yeah,
good way.
it does. I think you should watch that. I think you'd
I don't
love
care. What's it on? It's going to be on some fucking...
It's on Prime.
Oh, if I kill myself. Jesus Christ.
The Walton Goggins is in it and he's having a moment.
Oh, I'm a bit Goggenpilled at the moment.
I'm a goghead.
I'm a big gogog. I'm a gogglehead. I'm a gogglehead? Gogglehead. Yeah, huge.
Yeah, look, I think that I'm personally happy to essentially say Nothing is of merit in the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
And we can basically jump to the end when he gets the apple.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I think of this as a deeply empty vessel of a film.
You sort of, the first, like, it's just an hour of just sort of watching, again, just watch like a trailer on YouTube of the video games. It's kind of just that.
Yeah.
The cinematics they put on, and then the actual game is you fucking about jumping on cliffs and stuff.
Yeah.
Buildings.
I think there should be more parkour. I think there should be more flipping, and it should be more killing.
It should just more. It should be
It's everything
It should be
more.
all
More.
set in the past, because then you have a fun. I've never seen this world depicted in a movie.
Yeah.
I guess this time frame.
That's great.
Yeah,
They've really
like sort of crusades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really know. I don't really know any history, and you know what?
fine.
I shouldn't have even weighed in. So I do apologize.
I was all for, I can do a crusade bit, and you're like swapping it away. Like, do not do that.
Don't know. I don't know.
This didn't real happen. It was dinosaurs. I think it was like
I think Robin Hood was fighting in the Crusades, but it feels silly for Robin Hood to be in the setting, so I don't know.
But here's the thing. Saying that though, when Christopher Columbus does rock up, they do like a big Marvel reveal, just like Christopher fucking Columbus.
And I'm like, what, the guy that directed Harry Potter and
I
Home
thought the
Alone?
exact same fucking thing. I thought the exact same thing. I don't know what we didn't. I guess we didn't learn about Christopher Columbus because we're Australian.
He's in Night of the Museum. He's our Captain Hook, I guess. But like, not our Captain Hook, our Captain Cook. I'm allowed to mispronounce his name. He was a bad guy. You know, he was a bad guy.
Good save, yeah, really good save, yeah. Imagine
Nailed
mocking him on
know.
account of his actions.
I think it's silly that in time he hasn't just been rebranded to Captain Hook, because I think people would care about him more if they were like, that man lost a hand to an alligator that had also swallowed a clock. Ah, Australia, you silly.
It's more on brand, I think, for us. Just like, that lunatic found your crazy country. Good for them, huh?
Yeah.
Look, we'll get into the end sequence because they're like, let's do it all outside. There's a jailbreak scene. We haven't even really talked about it. What's his name?
There's no point to talking about it, I dare say.
Michael Kenneth Williams. I don't know him really from the Community episode. I think he's also in The Wire.
He's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
And he passed away recently.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I really give a nubbin. He's sort of, I guess he's just like, we need this to be like a prison, so you're going to be like sort of the prisoner sort of
Yeah.
vibe.
He is good in this.
Yeah.
And I think he is trying to give a bit of like I'm bringing in my own energy right now. And Michael Fassbender's like, but what if I gave you nothing?
Yeah, it's really cruel because it sort of feels like he's like, oh, I'm the bully of the like jail yard, but I'm also your friend. You know, hey man, you know, they're fucking trying to get like take free will. What are you gonna do? And Michael Fassbender's like, we're not in that film. He's like, I guess I'll do my own jailbreak. The jailbreak happens. I really don't care. I don't
care.
Yeah.
I think you also know, I think it's weird that the climax is outside of the games and also to the point where you go, well, they're just going to go and kill him before he opens
It's
the
fine.
thing.
It's fine.
It's all very by the numbers.
I do love Michael Fassbender collects like a bunch of like, I guess just like friends, and there's like, you can have a crossbow, you can have an axe, and we're all gonna go assassinate.
Yeah.
Feels lame.
Yeah, it does feel lame. I think it's a very lame, dull climax.
Well, it also I was reading.
I was
up,
also surprised when it ended.
Yeah, right.
I was like, oh.
The credits are long. How long's the credit?
Yeah,
like
credits were
20?
15 minutes. The movie, I was like, oh god, just under 2 hours. This is a slog. Movie ended at an hour 41.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, bonkers, right? Because you're just sort of left with Jeremy Irons. He's doing like his big presentation. He gets stabbed.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, okay, well.
Oh yeah, Meridian Cotillard's like, I guess I was an assassin too. And then Michael Fassbender's mum just sort of stands there. And you're going, this is a lot of people.
A lot of people.
There's too many people.
I'm pretty overwhelmed right now. I can't want this to end.
I need a safe space because this is too many people.
There's too many people. I mean, so did Jeremy Irons because he got stabbed in the face.
Yeah, absolutely. He gets the ultimate out from the movie.
Dying?
Yeah.
Well, you know what his profession was.
Even though, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know. I think you know.
Yeah. He
was a, conveyor of free will. So what would you call that? It's a pimp, Carl. It's a pimp.
Would that be crazy? What a reveal it would be if it turned out he was also pimping.
I think so.
And he was like, you were never on my radar until I found out you were a pimp.
I did this whole bullshit to get to you. I killed a little pimp to get a bigger pimp.
When the movie ends with Michael Fassbender on the tallest building in Spain, I'm just like, no pimp is safe. he is out there. I'm like, that man is ready. No pimp is safe in this town.
Carl, who would watch Assassin's Creed 2016?
I didn't like any of this, and I was pretty confused as to who I thought I could really recommend this to. I think if you are a big fan of the games, but are a big fan in the way that you do actually really, really love the costuming and the time period, this movie is doing something that I haven't seen depicted in like a modern film when it goes back in time. And I think while they're poorly edited, I do think they probably, if the whole movie had really committed to that, this might have been different. And it doesn't, and that's why it doesn't succeed. But I do think some expectations could be met to a really massive fan that wanted that. I think that's who it's going to be for. If you're going to find any enjoyment, it is in the actual old time Spain. Yeah. I think because the effort's really been put there from a filmmaking standpoint, all the production and everything. It's really been put there.
It is a bit of a sad, like, sort of, because you sort of look at it, you go, ooh, there is something there. You know, even some of the sequences inside the jail has got this beautiful lighting of, like, I guess birds. I don't know what the motif of the birds are. It probably got cut, but there's definitely something happening.
Well, I would even say the sets of the prison are really
cool.
good too.
I think they're doing some really cool things with the lighting. They've got it does feel very.
They've spent the money, and then I think they haven't had confidence, and they've got a bad script. I think that's the thing.
The script feels odd, doesn't it? I don't know who wrote the script. It was someone odd.
Oh, it was me. I wrote it. Fuck.
Oh,
Fuck.
no.
Oh, I did that pimp thing as a joke and it made it in. Shit. Shit.
Better backstory here. Not something hilarious like pimp killing. No, did the X's Gods of Kings, like those massive, big historical blockbusters. I guess that was just like a horrible rampant of just sort of like, well, Gladiator was huge. And I guess those, those big disaster movies are killed. Maybe we should just do that, you know, big Cleopatra films. But no, just not great.
Oh, 3 writers. I guess one of them wrote Macbeth and Now You See Me 3, so hey, he'll be back on the show. The other one did Allegiant and Exodus and the Transporter reboot. And then the other one did all of those films. Yeah. So it's sort of just like a really lovely little mess of 3 people that probably shouldn't have done this.
There's definitely some better talent, you know. It's just a shame, really.
Oscar, who would watch Assassin's Creed?
I have to agree. Like, the actual stuff, I guess it's like, you're kind of left with just a bit of nothing because you sort of watch the sequence and go, nah, damn, there's definitely, I guess if you're an editor, check out the cutting room floor of those scenes. So I bet they look lovely. I reckon they'd be gorgeous. Look, I do think a lot of the production design, the costuming, everything's working here. It's just such a bland, nothing script, and it's just sort of cobbled together. But I think if you're happy to go through the bones of this one, there's something there. But I really am a bit confused at why they've focused on what they've focused on. I don't know whether I heard they wanted to make a bunch of these, so I don't know whether they were like
it did double its budget for a bad film and $125 million budget.
So
like,
how should it wait?
It made $250 million.
Yeah, and how much did it cost?
125.
It's okay, and I guess the definite. I see why everyone could jump on board because you'd be like, man, this is a big video game franchise.
Yeah.
It's got a pretty good director. I reckon. Like, I see why everyone thought this would be good. I just don't. I guess they must have just at the end pulled the plug on. Oh no, we can't commit to that.
I think it's a real concept as well as not understanding is what makes what makes an audience enjoy that game, and then trying to convert that into what makes an audience enjoy a film is really different.
I always think it is such an impossible task to try, and the reason why The Last of Us those games work so well is because it's just very story-based. The ones that are very sandboxy and are very much the enjoyment is from the gameplay loop of just like going up, finding interesting ways to assassinate someone for this game, that's so hard to depict on film and will never work. You can have a set piece, but then you have to build up the actual reason why. When you're playing a game, the reason why there's stakes is because you're doing it. Whereas if you've got a bunch of characters, you have to actually make them care. So it is tough. I am keen to see, I guess, that Minecraft movie is coming out soon. So I'm keen to see what they're going to be doing with that. Because it's a similar issue to run into of just like, what makes this fun is not narrative. So I don't know what you're actually going to be doing. I actually really all you can do for that, and what this film does a lot is just a bunch of references. So go, hey, You guys play the game? There you go. So there you go. Carl, who would watch Assassin's Creed?
If you're feeling mopey, this is the film for you. Just it's a mopey little movie. You want to stay and wallow? Everyone here is mopey. Oscar, who would watch Assassin's Creed?
I reckon Craig Mazin for The Last of Us. I think for research going, okay, what not to do.
Yep. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Won't do that at all.
Carl, who would watch Assassin's Creed?
If you just need to understand how Spain operates, they've nailed it.
Yeah, I'll jump in there. If you want to understand the economics, sort of trade unions, just sort of basic understanding of the geography and location, and just sort of the general, the culture really at whole, check out this one. It's really for you. Is it set in Spain?
For the listener at home, I went, That's what I gave with my shoulders. At one stage, I think they go, we've flown you to Madrid.
Okay, huge.
But here's the thing.
I remember
it's somewhere that begins with an M. We don't know if that's Spain.
Big Morocco vibes over here.
Imagine.
I do remember, an eagle flies over a desert and then goes, meh. I go, yep, that's meh.
They were in Melbourne, Australia, all along. Fuck. Oscar, what will we be reviewing next week?
Carl, ask wwwtpodcast@gmail.com if you want to chuck us a video game recommendation. However, we're taking off Anubis heads. Oh, man, I really thought I knew the Assassin's Creed helmet thing. Carl, we're jumping into a Need for Speed. We love cars.
Hopping in our vroom vrooms.
Yep.
And we're off to go and spend time with Aaron Paul.
That's right.
And supporting Rami Malek.
Holy shit. We're putting down the Apple and jumping into the vroom vroom. That's right. Big Charlie XCX fans over here.
Oh my God, how can we make them all connect?
Oh my God.
Find out over the next 4 weeks as all the video game movies get a Charlie XCX reference.
Oh my God, Carl. We're going to be doing this for a year or 365 days.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Whoa. I'm going to start spinning on my chair. 360.
Holy shit. I think about it all the time.